Alright, no need to set up an elaborate intro. The greatest game of 2023, the Elephant Collection, just released. And nobody on my friends list is playing it, so I'm making a video to shame them. Achievement unlocked, this is the only level, Elephant Quest. This collection features some of the greatest free-to-play Flash games ever made. I put an unhealthy number of hours into these games as a kid on Armor Games, Congregate, Newgrounds, or lost on some sketchy website that probably has 1,000 viruses. Hey, if they didn't want viruses on the school computer, they should have just unblocked Armor Games. These games are technically free to play on those various Flash websites, but I gladly bought this collection to support the creator. These games are fantastic, and today I'm going to talk about every single one of them in chronological order. The collection itself is really well put together too. Each game has achievements that unlock backstory on the game's development. Each floor has that era's elephant design. But let's start at the beginning. Elephant Rave, the first ever video game to feature elephants, except for all these. Just run around and dodge all the lights. It's pretty simple stuff. This one might be the most changed from the original game. The original took place in the tiniest box known to man. Although technically this isn't the first time the game has been slightly wider. There was an iPad version ages ago that I played quite a bit. I unburied my original iPad and yeah, it's still on here. It's a simple little game, pretty fun. I suck at it. My favorite part though is the opening text. PSA public service announcement. Listen up. Elephants are your friend, not your enemy. Do not be fooled by the media. Open your eyes and see for yourself that these noble creatures deserve nothing but the greatest dignity and respect. Do not be fooled. Do not give in. For you yourself know the truth. Trust yourself. Trust them. When will it be love instead of fear? You can switch between the original or the alternate text just for this collection. And starting up the collection, it launches you directly into Elephant Rave. It's such an awesome opening. Achievement Unlocked is such a brilliant concept. You're just an elephant in a square room, and there's a few things to interact with and 99 achievements to collect. There's something so addicting about hunting achievements, and this is an entire game built around it. You've got to paint all these purple blocks, die on every spike, hover on every launcher, find every secret number, solve math equations by touching those specific numbers in a specific order, mute the sound, lower the quality. This elephant makes the absolute most out of existing in a small room, something that I could never do. Both the second and third Achievement Unlocked games greatly expand on this concept, but this is still a fun first entry. This is the only level is what it sounds like. You play one level over and over again because the elephant canonically forgot the rest of them. Jump, hit the button to open the door, avoid the spikes, do it again. Each time you play it though, the level has some slight changes to it. Spikes might bounce you up in the air, or there might be stripes where one color kills you. See, in most of these, I just look stupid if you don't know what's happening. This game does a lot with your controls, reversing them, making you floaty, making you bounce nonstop. You might be having to play using mouse controls. I know it looks like I'm just really bad at this, but I swear it's the game messing with me. This one's really cool. The closest thing I can compare Obey the Game to is probably WarioWare. You move from room to room with only a few seconds to react, and you have to complete whatever the task is. But sometimes you gotta do the opposite, and it speeds up over time, to the point where it just gets so stressful and I wanna cry. But in a fun way, in like a fun elephant way. This is my favorite game so far. It feels the most fleshed out, and is the most endlessly replayable. Keeping track of your high scores in each mode really helps. There's a blind mode where, yeah, I mean, it's what it sounds like, and that's terrifying. There's reverse mode where you obey if it says not to obey, and then you disobey if it says to do something. This one's hard to keep track of. And rapid fire mode, where there's no transition between rooms, you're just there. You have even less reaction time. Nope. No, I needed to be on there. Okay, coffee break. I love the coffee break. This is the best part of the game. Okay, The first This Is the Only level messed around with the player's controls a lot, but the sequel does a lot more to change the actual level. Sometimes adding ice physics to everything, or spikes will stretch to squish you, or you do the World 1-2 thing from Super Mario Bros. There's a lot of cool stuff that, yeah, I just don't want to spoil, so go play it for yourself. What makes this one really cool is the additional unlockables. I played this one a lot in my computer class senior year, trying to unlock everything. Hello, I'm here for the Elephant Collection. Get this squirrel business out of here. You can unlock this really funny mode where it randomizes the level's layout. The objectives are still the same, but you have to navigate this randomly generated maze to complete them. And 9 times out of 10, the layouts make them impossible. I don't think I can get in there. I mean, I guess I gotta try it. Okay, yeah, that's what I expected. Most of these games are very short and simple, I don't really have a whole lot to say, but Achievement Unlocked 2 is much bigger than any of the others so far. While the original had 99 achievements, this one has 250. Like the first game, you're limited to one simple room with just launchers and spikes, but using coins you find, you can purchase the DLC packs to unlock the other rooms. They should have bundled this content in the game to begin with. This was heavy-hitting commentary back in 2010 that hasn't aged a day. The other rooms have even more fun stuff to interact with. There's a piano where you can play specific songs for achievements, a lottery where you can gamble. Hey, I want the elephant, this isn't the giraffe collection. There's a room with a bunch of portals, a room with a big ominous button, and outside the building you see this nightmarish post-apocalyptic world that this elephant lives in. The elephant can also do something new. Whoa, neat. Originally being a Flash game, a few things needed to be changed to work on Steam. By opening the game in 2 separate windows, you used to be able to access the hot coffee area. This is something you can really only do playing the game on a web browser, so this version just has a coffee pot you can use. This is honestly one of the best Flash games ever made. So much to do, so addicting, and the game's length fits perfectly into a single session. As kids, we had limited computer time. It was just short enough to fit into that brief window. A true masterpiece of gaming. This is the only level 3 switches up the formula drastically, replacing the button with a lever. This changes everything. You have doors to warp to the other side of the level with. You can also make pastries. I like that they kept this in. The first 2 games were pretty creative, but this one is on a whole other level. What is happening? Oh, it's like Elephant Rave, like the other game. We played that before. I'm so bad at this slingshot. I swear I've been throwing myself into spikes slowly for like 10 minutes now. Why do I suck so much at this one? Oh, I'm underwater now. That's cool. I'm playing Snake. Yeah, this game's awesome. I really love seeing how much these games improved over the years. They took such simple concepts and continuously refined and expanded on them. Anyways, Elephant Quest is an RPG. Wooly has stolen Elephant's hat and they have to go get it back, so already our protagonist is very relatable. I hate when my hat is stolen. You start with a simple weapon, but by gaining experience from defeating enemies and completing quests to help out other elephants, you can get more weapons, spend credits in the skill tree to increase your stats, and eventually become an unstoppable elephant machine. It's kinda weird to me that this is the only one of these games in this style. It feels like another that would have started simple and improved over time, getting bigger with each one, but instead they just made this masterpiece on the first try. It's really cool how it mixes all of these RPG elements with a platformer, and then you've got to use the mouse to shoot. Everything comes together really well. Enemies are never too difficult, aside from a few annoying flying enemies. The fight against Wooly's a little tough on the first try, but the hardest enemy in this game is getting stuck on the bottom of a platform, trapped there for the end of time, or until you close the game. Ah, stuck again, that's annoying. Okay, okay, I did it again. Alright, this time, alright, whatever, never mind. A few little goofy little silly little bugs aside, I really love this one. When it first released, I didn't like Achievement Unlocked 3 as much as I liked 2, but the more I played it, the more it grew on me. It is very different from the first 2 games, though. There's a story this time. You're trapped in King Hamster's realm, and they want you to complete achievements to get coins to buy pellets to feed the king to earn rewards. While most of these elephant games take place within video gamey boxed rooms, this one feels like an actual world, taking place inside these different hamster cages with tubes connecting them. There's also 400 achievements. Biggest change is actually to the elephant themselves. They have a double jump now, which is great. There's no limit to how many pastries they can make. They can charge for a bigger pastry, but charging too much kills them and they explode into a bunch of mini pastries. They can unlock the hamster gun that makes up to 10 hamsters, which can be bounced off of or fed pastries to make bigger. Oh, and you can set yourself on fire too, which you need to do to light torches. But while on fire, you can make flaming pastries and flaming hamsters. Out of every game in this collection, this is the most fun in terms of actually playing as the elephant. They can do a lot of stuff. Each room has so many fun things to interact with, so many many things to explore, and the pastries and hamsters can interact with all those things in different ways too. I almost don't want to say too much here. Finding those weirder achievements for yourself is a big part of the fun. Although I've completed this game at least 20 times in my life, and I still have a great time playing it. After beating the game, you get this message saying, "We'll see you for the launch of Achievement Unlocked 4. It will be pretty much the best thing we ever made." This has the same energy as "See you in Rayman 4. They never made a 4th game, unfortunately. Maybe it'll exist someday, but if not, this is still a fantastic game built on such a basic concept. I played this at a time where I had very limited internet access. I had just moved to a new country, it took a while to get moved in and get Wi-Fi, and I had to rely on my local library's computer. I would walk down there with my family sometimes and play the silly elephant game. I would be starting at a new school in another country and was incredibly anxious about what the future would bring. But Funny Elephant Pastry Game took my mind off of everything else. Collecting those achievements drove all the worries out of my system. And while I still had very limited computer access at the library, this one would actually save your game so I could continue the next time I walked down there. This game is extremely fun and addicting, and for me was a right game, right time kind of thing. Achievement Unlocked 3 is not only one of my favorite Flash games of all time, it's one of my favorite games of all time. Haha, funny elephant poop a pastry and then the hamster eat it. In Run Elephant Run, the elephant is tired of being a famous star and just wants to return home. It's a simple runner game, and it actually came out back in like 2009, but being placed at the end of the collection makes for an effective conclusion. If you were online during the era of Flash, you know how special that time was. The magic of exploring these sites and the countless masterpieces. Sure, there was a lot of not so good stuff too, but that made finding games like these even more incredible. As more and more Flash games make their way to other services, I'm doing my best to support all of them. After all, they provided us with some amazing games for free. The Elephant Collection is out on Steam for $14.99. Obviously, I highly recommend it. It's a handful of great games wrapped up in an excellent package. Shortly before the release of the Elephant Collection, the first entry in the Elephant series released for the first time in like a decade. And like all of the Flash games that came before it, this game's free, go play it, there's no reason not to. So let's go ahead and see what Elephant Rave 2 is all about. The public service announcement, listen up, you have been told about elephants is a lie. They are beautiful creatures that only serve to do good. If you stopped to learn about their lives and worldly contributions, you would find that maybe you have more in common with these noble creatures than you could possibly start to understand. Trust them, trust yourself, for again, when... It lost me. Oh, it's so loud. Elephant Rave 2! Elephants! I love elephants! Yeah! Yeah! Woo, let's go! Oh, I'm doing backflips! Oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's so cool! Woo! I didn't read any of that, sorry. Okay, yeah! Yeah!